to have you all. Just to want to make it clear that I am a technically an illiterate person, so I was trying to adjust certain things because there are a couple sites where I was live. It didn't go through, and I was getting those messages. So anyhow, learning every single day. So let me welcome our guests who already joined us. Let me welcome Mr. Jim Samuel. Hello, Jim. How are you?
Hey, Foz.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, here is my friend Jay. Like, how are you, Jay?
I'm wonderful, sir.
Yeah, it's nice to see you. It's been a while. We didn't have any interaction because it's COVID. Good to have you. There's my sister Monera. How are you?
Hi, how are you, Dr. Faz?
It's my pleasure. How you doing? Happy Eid.
Happy to you too.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
good, thank you. How are you?
Uh, yeah, here we go. We have another friend, Mr. Munir Ahmad. Munir, how are you? I believe his camera is not on, so that's why we can't see on the screen. But anyway, folks, if you are going to turn off your camera, then you won't be seen on the screen. So please make sure your camera should be on because this is a mastermind meeting and where have conversation and we are going to interact with certain things which we are going to discuss. So please feel free. And the only people who can get into the room are the people who already registered. I know we have a lot of people who registered, but because there was a little bit confusion. A lot of people registered because I do programs in bilingually. So a lot of people thought that I'm going to do in Urdu. So no, this will be in English. And but if you guys, I will see if the number of people there are sufficient. Then I'll start another show on Saturday for the different language. So thank you everyone to join us. Let's start, and I would like to request everyone to please give a brief intro of yourselves. People who are watching us all over the world. I have my followers around like 18 countries right now. So please feel free to introduce yourself so people can know who you are. Yeah, let's start with Jim.
Okay, sorry, I was muted.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I live in New Jersey. Foz and I have both been in Toastmasters. I've been Select Distinguished District Governor, and I was in IT for 32 years, mostly mainframe database, and now I sell annuities and insurance to remediate debt and to turbocharge people's retirement and legacy. I have one son, 33.
Thank you, Jim. Jim, obviously, he's a true leader. He's been serving this organization, International Toastmasters organization, for a long, long time. He was a district governor, distinguished, and also he is like multiple DTMs, I mean, which is called Distinguished Toastmaster, the highest award you can get. So Jim is one of them who never stops and gets another and another and another. I don't know how he does. We are going to learn in through this journey. All right. Thank you. Let's go to the Mr. Jay Liger.
Hi, my name is Jay. I live in the greater Philadelphia area. I as well met Dr. Foz through the Toastmasters organization. I have a background in consumer packaged goods marketing, 35 years, a dozen years or so in real estate investing and private lending. I'm now passive in that activity. I am semi-retired. I am involved with building an online wellness-oriented following for an online shopping club, but enjoying life. And I've been through a number of masterminds with Dr. Foz and find them quite beneficial. So I was happy to hear that he's doing another one.
Thank you, Jay. Jay and me been doing this journey for a while together, and we have been in few masterminds we did together. So, and I always learn from these leaders. So let's go to Sister Munira.
Hello. I am a John Maxwell certified coach with Dr. Faz, and I call myself as the niche navigator. What I do is I help business entrepreneurs niche down and figure out one, what their purpose of the business is and who their ideal client is.
Thank you. Thank you, Manira. And Mr. Hasib, I can see your picture on the screen because I believe your camera is off. So if you want to turn on camera or otherwise, you can just turn on your mic and at least introduce yourself, please. If we can hear you. Hello? I believe some problem here. Okay, let's move on to Mr. Munir Ahmed. Are you there? Mr. Munir, are you there? He got disconnected anyway. So we have a little technical issue because a lot of people they join from overseas and sometimes there are network issues and then at the same time, sometimes it's bilingual. I do the shows, so maybe they are confused with a different language. But anyway, so welcome to this mastermind group. My name is Dr. Faz. I've been in this self-growth and personal development industry for last almost 7 years. I started my journey as a Toastmaster in 2013. Since then, I am a Toastmaster. But then in 2016, I joined John Maxwell Group, and now I've been working as an executive director with the John Maxwell Group. And uh, since then, I learned and I studied a lot of great things from John Maxwell, who's one of the highest paid non-celebrity speaker in the world. And he wrote almost 98 books and he sold like 38 million books so far. So I have an opportunity to learn very first hand from him as an executive director. And as a Toastmaster, I enjoyed that journey. And I believe Jim and Jay, they are leaders and they can also. I learned a lot how to speak, how to use my tone of voice, how to use my body language, how to do all that stuff, how to open my speech and how to close my speech, body of the speech and all that. But that's what I learned from Toastmaster because Toastmaster teaches you how to speak, how to stand up and talk in front of people. But Toastmaster, they don't they don't tell you what to speak. You need a content. So, which I got from John Maxwell. So now I'm a blend of both because I get content from John Maxwell and I have a little bit of skills which I established through the Toastmaster and I try to use those together. Today we picked the book, which is basically uh, people were insisting me to talk about that book for a while because obviously, especially the young generation, but it doesn't matter. Age has nothing to do with that. Uh, they wanted to talk about and they wanted to discuss about dreams. So I thought that this is a perfect time after this COVID frustration, confusion, and depression. Let's talk about our dreams, how we are depressed and confused, but how we can get out of this problem and how we can fulfill our dreams. So, bottom line is, what is your dream? We are going to talk in this entire journey about our dreams. So, what is our dream? And will we achieve in this lifetime? That's another question to ourselves. And I'm certainly that we all desire to do that. I'm sure we all hope we will. But let's see how many people accomplish their dreams, how many people gets their dream come true. If you do the math and if you do the survey and if you uh, search on different Google sites and other sites, they did already the survey. Only 5% people they accomplish their dreams. Why? The question is why. The problem is we don't. ask ourselves certain questions that is it really my dream? Because unfortunately, the way we have been set in this world, people think about our problems, but we don't think ourselves because everybody teaches us what to think. Nobody tells us how to think. So this is another issue because we don't think about ourselves. People make our decisions. When we were young, our parents start making our decisions, what we have to do in our life. Then we grow up, our teachers. Then you get married, then your spouses, and then you get older, then your kids. They decide what you do, you have to do in your life and what are your dreams. But basically, they are not our dreams. And luckily, uh, I mean, I just tell people this formula: 18, 40, and 60. Like when you are 18-year old, you think that everybody is looking at you, and you become the center of you think yourself that everybody is looking at you. But then when you turn 40, you don't give a damn to anyone. Who cares? You don't give a crap if they are looking. I don't care. But when you turn 60, then you realize nobody was looking at you all at all. So we get in the real world. So let's talk about how we can accomplish our dreams, how our dreams come true, or what are our chances to accomplish those dreams. So in this whole journey, we are going to ask 10 questions. 10 questions which are very important and which are crucial to ask ourselves and make sure if we answer out of those 10 six and plus yeses, it means they are truly our dreams. They are real dreams. So we can chase those dreams and we can get the job done. But if we get six plus no's and only three or four yeses, it means this is not truly my dream. I'm chasing someone else's dream, and somebody implanted in my mind that this is my dream. So let's get out of there and find a real dream and chase something which we have to accomplish rather than wasting our life and time on those dreams. So this is going to be the journey, but uh, again, sometimes when you ask people what is your dream, they usually get shy to tell each other because they think that maybe I'm maybe thinking too much or thinking too low, so they don't want to disclose their dreams and they don't want to tell you the great details of their dreams. So obviously, if you cannot tell your dream to someone else, means it's not a good enough dream. We have to have some strong dream which we can share with people proudly. So that's we are going to talk in this journey. And sometimes we just get shy that people are going to laugh at me. That's not true. If you're aiming too high or too low, doesn't matter. Dream doesn't have to be too big, but dream has to be bigger than you so you can grow in that dream. Otherwise, don't see the size of the dreams. It doesn't matter. So in this journey, we are going to talk about that. And after that, at the end of this whole 5 weeks, when we are going to get the answer, uh, we are going to have a clear picture about ourselves and about our dreams. All right. So please pay attention. It's just like if you remember when we were young, a teacher used to tell us that listen, next week we are going to have this test, and these are the questions you have to keep your eyes on because they will be asked in that test. So we used to feel so good. I had so many times. But actually, what he was doing, he was setting you up for success by telling those questions. Actually, he was trying to keep you on the track of success so you can feel comfortable and you can study those things which you have to study and which you need to study. So that's what we are going to do. So what we are going to have like 10 questions like we are going to ask. But before that, we say, uh, if you study a lot of successful people, high profile people, I will say, the very, very accomplished people, highly educated people who achieve their big dreams. So they just clarify how these things works. So John Maxwell tells in this book there are a couple things which we feel like they are dreams. For example, he tells the first kind of those things are daydreams. What are the daydreams? I mean, which are the distractions from your current work? All right, people are sitting at their work and just hoping and wishful thinking. Then he is going to own this company one day. Why the heck I have to work now? So those are like a daydreamers you will see all over. Then they have pie in the sky dreams, like a wild ideas, no strategy or basis reality, but they think, oh, one day I'm going to hit this, I'm going to find it. So those kind of people you will see. Then bad dreams, obviously, that which breed fear and paralysis, and you that's why you stop doing anything. Then some people have idealistic dreams, like the way the world would be if you change. But these are just the ideas. Then we have a romantic dreams, which is always and especially young generation, and even in any age group, people get. So in that, some person will make you a happy kind of dream, which is a romantic. Then you have a career dreams, like if I believe I will be successful in my career, I'll make myself happy. But that doesn't happen. Sometimes moving up in career doesn't make you happy, or it doesn't make your dream come true too. And then we have a destination dream, like we have a position and title in our mind. Once I will get that position and I will get to that title, probably I will be an accomplished person. That doesn't matter. Sometimes it doesn't work like that too. So anyway, these are different. And then material dreams. Sometimes people want wealth and professional possessions like assets and everything is going to make you happy. Sometimes they don't make you happy, or it's not a dream come true situation. So what is a dream? Dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, then also your will and emotions, and empowering you to do everything you can to achieve it. Again, a dream is an inspiring picture of the future that energizes your mind, will, and emotions, empowering you to do everything you can to achieve it. So the bottom line is that's the real dreams definition given by most of the dictionaries and all that. So a dream is a seed of possibilities planted in the soul of human being, which calls him to pursue a unique path to realization of his purpose. So these are different definitions of dream. So let's talk about what we are going to do in that. Uh, like dreams comes a size too big so that we can grow into them, like Josie Bissett. This is her code, and that's a very great code, so we can keep in our mind. So now there are few killers. Dream killers are always you find everywhere. Yeah, there are. So I will talk on that, and then I'm going to get you involved in that discussion. So there are a few things which we have to keep. How we get our dreams and we get stuck with our dreams, because we have some people have been discouraged from dreaming by others. For example, you see all over. I mean, around, I have so many people around me. Whenever I start talking about my dreams, they try to pull my legs down, and they just give me so many different stupid reasons not to think like that. And they are called dream crusher or idea killers. If you discuss the idea, oh no, that's not possible, it's not going to work, and those kind of people, they get you down because they don't want to think more, so they want you to think less. So those kind of people you see all over. But again, there is another kind of people who are uh, they don't want you to go further because of their past disappointments and hurts, whatever they went through, or even sometimes we do because of our, because we have a bad experience in our past, so we don't want to dream like that. But people will stop you. Those kind of people are all over. They will tell you their own stories that, oh, I did it, it didn't work, it's not going to work, it's not working. So just don't waste your time. So my point is, uh, this is a gap between expectation and reality, which sometimes people get disappointed because of their own experiences. But let me tell you one thing, somebody else's opinion is not the reality of your life. Keep in mind, you have your own life, so you have to make sure you should stick with whatever your dreams are. Then there is another thing he tells about, some people get in the habit of settling for average, and this is very common. I usually talk with people how the life is. Oh, everything is okay, just an average. I'm a middle class. It's very common. Everybody you talk to, oh, I'm in a middle class. I'm an average guy. I, I just feel so bad. Are you not ashamed to tell somebody that I am an average? What is average to me? What is middle class to me? Just let me ask you guys, from 1 to 100, what is the middle? Who's the middle, Jay?
50.
It's paper.
50? So, I mean, you are in the middle, from 1 to 100 is at the 50, means you are worst of the best and best of the worst. Don't be shame for you. Is it shame? Why we have to be an average? Why you can't just move couple more steps and go above average? And the whole highway is open. There is no traffic jam there because every stupid guy is stuck here. So let's take an extra step and get out of that pile. So my point is, my friends, your dreams they can, because don't settle. What happens? We whenever we dream something, whenever we make a goal in our life, then we start writing a plan. It's a very common habit. Let's make a plan. So we jot down a plan, and then what happens if anything goes against the plan or something happens during that plan? We start thinking, oh my gosh, no, I have to trim my goal now, because we fall in love with our plan. But my friends, never ever fall in love with your plan. Plan can be changed, not the destination, not the goal. Goal has to be the same. Find a detour, find a way, because you can change the plan. So don't fall in love with your plans. Don't get stuck with your plan. So, same thing, don't settle for average, or don't settle for less than whatever you want or whatever you dream for. So, this is a very important point we do. Mediocrity is always a dream killer, because when we think, "Oh, I'm an average, I'm in middle class," don't think like that. God was not sitting there and just making this 7.1 billion human beings for fun, because every single human being in this planet is unique. That's why they don't match their fingerprints even in 7.1 billion people. So, do you think you are here just to do average stuff? No, there is a purpose. We have to get that purpose done here. That's why we came here. Then there is another fourth point is, some people lack the confidence needed to pursue their dreams. Yes, lack of confidence is very common issue, again, because of different reason. Sometimes people just get nervous because people are pulling their legs, pushing them hard, or sometimes, like I said, we try to trim our goals. So, and lack of confidence is not going to come without attempting. People think that one day I'm going to be perfect, then I'm going to start working. No, you don't have to be perfect to start. You have to start a perfect. You have to start to be perfect rather than perfect to start. Well, that's our problem. Confidence is not going to come to us unless we don't start. So we have to start first. Then another point he said, some people lack the imagination to dream, which is a very, again, uh, I will say, people don't understand the power of imagination. That's the problem. God gave us six mental faculties, and I have this experience, maybe you also have. If you ask a 11-year-old kid, tell me, whatever the name of the kid is, John, Tom, Ted, whatever, Ted, tell me what are the five senses. He's going to tell you right there: touch, feel, and sound, and taste, and everything. But if you ask a master degree, a lot of master degree graduates and some highly educated people, can you tell me the six mental faculties? And they have no idea what the six faculties are. And those are the important things we have to understand as a leader, as a speaker, as a trainer, as a coach, as a successful person, or as a dreamer. Because dreamers are the redeemer. So you have to know those. And one of that faculty is called imagination. Imagination, God gave you this power that you can see your future right now in front of your eyes. You can imagine that. And that's how you get the clear picture. And once you see the picture in your mind, it's easy to get that rather than you have no picture. So some people lack the imagination to dream, which can be, again, it's a learnable skill. We can learn because imagination is the soil that brings dream to the life. So we all can learn that. Then, like I said, God, you're not an accident. You are not mass produced by the God. You are not an assembly line product. You are deliberately planned, specifically gifted, and loving position on the earth by the master craftsman. So God sent you for a good reason. So make sure we are learning that. So I believe God wants us to dream and to dream big because He is a big God. He's the grand power and superpower around. So who wants to do big things and he wants to do them through us because we are the best of the best creation he ever did. Through us, he wants to do everything bigger in this universe. So are you ready to put your dreams to the test? So we are going to discuss now. So let's open up and I'm going to go. There are 10 questions which I'm just giving you a blueprint so we can go from there. So our what are our 10 questions are going to be. So the first question we are going to discuss in this journey is the ownership question. Is my dream really my dream? Then the second question we are going to ask the clarity questions. Do I clearly see my dream? Then third question we are going to ask the reality question. Am I depending on factors within my control to achieve my dream? And then number four, we are going to ask the passion question. Does my dream compel me to follow it? And then the pathway questions. Do I have a strategy to reach my dream? And then the sixth question, the people question. Have I included the people I need to realize my dream? The seventh question is the cost questions. Am I willing to pay the price of the dream? And eighth question is the tenacity. Am I moving closer to my dream? And the ninth one is the fulfillment question. Does working towards my dream brings satisfaction to me? And the last question we are going to ask is called the significance question. Does my dream benefit others? Because success, when you get successful, success happens to you. Significance happens through you. So am I benefiting others? So these are the 10 questions we are going to discuss. And from there, we are going to go further. So there are two kind of people in this world. One are called realist and other called dreamers. The realists know where they are going. The dreamers have already been there. That's their dream. They already see themselves already been there. So we are going to discuss those things. So let me open up, my friends. First of all, give any of those like obstacles I told you, what stops you to dream? Anyone would like to share anything which you feel like sometime it stops me? Anything which you would like to? Anyone can start. Please feel free. What
Well,
stops you to?
when you hit obstacles, it's discouraging.
Hmm. So what's the common factor? Means like we discussed, like sometimes people pull you back, sometimes it's lack of confidence, sometimes those things like any of those stops you. What is main reason when you feel like I should not be dreaming, oh this is not real? So or past disappointments or hurts which happened in your past, maybe because of that you feel like, oh I'm not in a position to do this because I didn't have a good experience.
With
Yeah, well, I try.
confidence.
Yes, go ahead, anyone.
I think I heard someone say confidence.
Confidence, like lack of confidence, you say?
Yes, lack of confidence.
So can you elaborate how, why, how you feel like? So you think yourself that I have a lack of confidence. There must be some feelings there, emotions will be there.
Yeah, because you don't trust yourself. You don't feel that you are capable of doing it, and then you have an imposter syndrome that kicks in, and you think, "Am I going to be able to do this?" Oh no, no. The first thing that I notice is that people self-talk themselves out of
Hmm.
whatever they want to do. It's not others who dream crush you. It's
Hmm.
yourself because you don't have the confidence to go forward in life.
Okay, okay. And anyone else would like to share something? Jay?
So I believe all children have vivid imaginations. They're always creating things in their mind. And part of
Hmm.
growing up is having older people tell you you start to need to be more reasonable because everything isn't possible. And so we tend to walk away from that
Hmm.
process of enabling our creative imagination.
Hmm.
And there's a small minority of people who don't listen to the masses, who don't establish these very limited thoughts,
Hmm.
who go on to create amazing things because they think truly outside of the box. And the world would be a much better place if we would have more people empowering others and getting them to strive to believe in themselves and to believe that they could achieve significantly more. Personally, when I establish dreams and plans of how I'm going to accomplish those dreams, I always cast it in the concept of I want this or better.
Hmm.
Because I believe where my mindset is today can't even envision what I will be able to create as I continue to evolve in a positive way. And so I want to be somewhat detached because I
Hmm.
don't want to limit how much I can grow, right?
Hmm.
And so I really think that we need to understand that as
Hmm.
we open new doorways to our creativity and
Hmm.
productivity, that, Grant Cardone wrote a book, The 10X Factor, and he says,
Yes.
most people try to think about how they can achieve 2% more or 10% more. And he likes to think about how could he achieve, 10 times more, 100 times more, because that requires very creative approaches. You can't get there by doing things the way you're doing it now and get 10 times more than everybody else. But if you
Hmm.
have a new and novel approach, you certainly can. And so um, I think dreams are essential. And I try to be empowering to other people that I'm around because I think we all need voices of support that tell us that you can do anything, you can do much more, and have that encouraging voice for people to not stifle their imagination, but to
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
believe more in themselves.
Hmm. Awesome. Mr. Dastagir, would you like to share something?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me in this wonderful session. I think for me, lack of consistency is the issue for me to achieve any goal, and as well as lack of imagination. I think I'm lacking in two areas, and I
Hmm.
really want to improve these areas.
Hmm. Okay, all right. Anything else somebody would like to chip in? And anyone has like a habit of settling average? Anyone? Let's trim the goal. Let's trim the dream. And I was thinking for 1 million, but now let's set for 500,000 or something like that. Because a lot of time I see people in corporate, I mean, world, and not only corporate, but in individuals I talk to. Oh, I had a big dream, fast, but I then I realized it's not going to happen. So I trimmed this and I trimmed that. I said, why did you trim? And then they said, oh, because everything was not going according to the plan. I said, why you didn't change the plan? Unfortunately, they fall in love with the plan and they didn't want to change the plan, but they want to change their destination and they want to change their goal. So, anyone have been through that? I mean, in your own personal life or something?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have.
Okay. Yeah, would you
I
like to
went
share a little bit so we can understand how it works?
so I went to school before to be a teacher, became a teacher, then came to America and became a pharmacy technician. And
Hmm.
that was my dream. Okay, I'm going to become a pharmacist, but time, money, and family reasons didn't allow me to do that. So I grew up in my corporate world job, like grew up as in, climbed the ladder, became one of the top earning people, a regional director, everything. And then the position and everything that goes up has to come down. So the position was eliminated and I was out of a job. So now I use my teaching skills to help others follow their dreams.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very, yeah. So that's a good way. I mean, definitely. And it is. So you're obviously, like you said about your lack of confidence, automatically you will overcome on that lack of confidence too by just doing this other stuff. And that's going to give you more confidence and more entrepreneurship in your life. So that's awesome. So let's move on to the first questions. Like I say, we are going to discuss and then we are going to go for the next week for the next one. So the first question, which is the chapter number one, he tells us about, and very basic question, and foundation of the entire this journey is going to be the ownership question. Is my dream really my dream? That's the question we have to ask. Because most of the time people don't have any idea. And I'm a true story in front of you. Let me start by myself. My entire life, it took me 60 years of my life to get back to my dream. Otherwise, I was living someone else's dream in the entire last 60 years of my life. When I was young, I was envisioned by my parents to be a medical doctor, but that was not my dream. And in our culture, the final word always comes from your parents. So I gave up and I thought that maybe that is the decision God made for me and my parents made for me because we always respect our parents like the God. I mean, I said it means that's a God's will. And I became a medical doctor. And I practiced very well and I earned tons and tons of money as a surgeon. But then what happens? uh, Things gets changed, and I was because not keen to be as a from my inside that I was not satisfied because that was not my dream. So when I came to United States in 1994, the first thing I was when I was flying down here, first thing I was thinking, how can I get rid of this profession out of me? Because I didn't like because I don't know. I mean, it's a very noble profession. Don't take me wrong. It's a very respectable profession, but for me that was not my cup of tea and that was not my interest from inside. So I decided to go in a different profession, and then I came here and I did my MBA in USA, and then I got into the business side, and then I got in sales, and I became very successful even as a salesperson. But still I was not satisfied because I wanted to do something to help people, to talk to people, because I just that's the way I wanted to live my life. And finally, uh, it took me 60 years to get back to that track, and now I'm living truly my dream now. That I'm talking with people around the world, I'm helping them, I'm trying to coach them or mentor them or whatever they need. So I feel so fulfilled and satisfied now. So this is the way, because we live our someone else's dream when we grow up, and then it's okay for parents to tell us what to do. Is not a bad thing when you are young, like, because of your safety, because of your prosperity and everything. They give you advice and they tell you what to do and what not to do. And for example, when I was a young kid, my parents used to tell me, don't put your finger in this electric socket. You can. So that was okay. But when you grow up as a grown man, it's tough then, that somebody is going to dictate us what to do in our life. And nobody wants to be controlled, nobody wants to be managed. So the problem is because we never taught and we never trained in a way that, rather than what to think, we should learn how to think. So that's the main thing which I learned after that age group, after all that. uh, Whatever, I had so many degrees, but I didn't have an education prior to that. Now when I started educating myself, then I learned how to think rather than what to think. So then I realized what is my real dream is ownership. So, do you have whatever you are doing in your life? Do you own that dream, or whatever you're dreaming right now? Is it your dream first? So, we have to make sure. So, a dream is only possible when you own it. If you don't own it, you're not going to accomplish, or you are not going to make that dream come true, regardless, because that's not your dream. And majority of the people, because they don't own it. So that's why dreams don't come true for ordinary people. You have to be extraordinary to own it, show the authority. Then, how can a dream be both a target and catalyst? That's the question we have to ask. This is my dream too, but this is also catalyst for me to get the job done. So these are certain things, certain practices we have to learn. Then, if the dream is not big, it's not like, sometimes this is an excuse. If it's not so big, it doesn't mean I have to pursue it. No, you don't have to have a to be like you have big dream. It just has to be bigger than you. Keep in mind. So don't chase those big, like titles and sentences and for the dream. No, dream has to be bigger than you. Then you can dream for those things. Then another excuse people make in the ownership part, that now is not the time to pursue my dream. Any timing factor. Oh, this is not a right time. There is no such thing. Like you deal with those people all day long, and me too. One day I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to be like this. And I ask them, can you show me one day or someday in any calendar which you have, please? This is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I never saw him one day. I never saw a someday. So if it doesn't exist in calendar, it doesn't exist in this universe. Okay. Today is the day. This is your choice. You have to make it the day first or first day.
Dr. Paz,
Yes.
I believe it's hard to observe in America today a lot of people wanting to take personal responsibility. It
Mhm.
seems that in so many ways that people want to be taken care of rather than take the responsibility to make themselves better. They want success to be easier, and that's unfortunate. America is a unique place because of all the opportunity that exists. And we're a company that has grown because we have been a magnet to people from all over the world who want to come here and make more of themselves. And there are certainly a large number of people who take steps toward personal improvement. I mean, we wouldn't have so many college educated and so many people that go on to graduate programs and whatnot, if people didn't have a level of ambition. But when it really comes down to it, I'm seeing more and more evidence of people lacking personal responsibility. I mean, now today the talk is, are we going to forgive all the debt for the kids that went to school that improved themselves rather than them, I mean, I paid for school, graduate school, and worked hard to do it for myself. And the little bit of debt I had, I paid off. And yet it seems today people just want to be told, well, you can go enjoy life on a college campus someplace until a point, and then not have the responsibility to find a way to pay it back.
Yeah, I agree with you.
The other thing, so much of what's, and I know we don't want to get into politics here, but so much of what's going on today seems to be trying to take care of people as opposed to just providing them opportunities to step up to the plate to take advantage of all the abundant resources that we have here. So, and within that, certainly we need to have opportunities such as you're providing here. People who decide on a Friday afternoon to study a book and to talk about where we're going. We certainly are not the average people who would not take the opportunity. So
I agree with you, Jay, and that's why I said the problem is the way we have been grown by our parents and by our environment, by our culture, or whatever you name it behind the scene. The way we never told to think, because everyone else around us was thinking of us. We were not thinking of ourselves. Our parents, our teachers, our friends, our spouses, our kids, everybody they think that that's their responsibility. We have to just follow whatever they think. But we have to change this paradigm as a dreamer. Dreamers are the redeemers, obviously. They are the leaders. That's why only 5% people, they get their dreams come true. Why? Because they take the charge. They take the control of thinking by themselves rather than chasing somebody else's dream. Because this is their dream, which they are telling you. Unfortunately, what kind of people we are in this nowadays, in this culture, like you just said, uh, if you get an interview call from a job, you walk to a friend who's already jobless for last 6 months, and we ask him, "Can you give me some tips?"
right.
So, do you think he's going to give you the tips to how to get a job if he was that good enough? So my point is, we don't want to think. Let somebody else to think what I have to do in my life. So you're right. I mean, but again,
I mean, you just look at what's going on today. We have 8 million people who have not gotten their job back from the pre-pandemic time. We lost 22 million jobs, and we have, 14 million of them are back. And yet, last month, despite there are 8 million open job opportunities out there,
yeah,
last month we had 225,000 people step up and take a job. And I just think that is reflective of the lack of personal ambition and responsibility because we've made it easy to sit on the sidelines.
Yeah, because unfortunately, our weakest link is, I think that Monira is also going to give her definitely feedback on that, because we are not willing to bet on ourselves. If you are a dreamer, you have to bet on yourself. I mean, the problem is, there's a quote there that you may succeed if nobody else believes in you, but you will never succeed if you don't believe in yourself.
Yes, sir.
Because that's a law of mirror. If you don't put value on yourself, why somebody else is going to put value on you? So you have to understand, you have to respect yourself first to make it then things will follow automatically. So are you willing to bet on yourself? That's a question. So what do you think, Munira? What do you say about this?
I think we haven't given enough emphasis on personal growth. And like you said, Dr. Faz, people are not allowed, are not taught to think for themselves. Everything is been given in a silver platter. And I believe what Jay is saying is the truth, because we could argue till the cows come home, but the fact of the matter is that we need people to start thinking for themselves. Instead of giving it to them, we need to have them start thinking for themselves.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. Because the problem is we are accepting our life rather than leading our life. That's we settle for. Well, we
It's
accept the
called
way it is. We have to lead ourselves. Yeah.
it's called complacency, because we don't take action, and we
Yes.
get comfortable in whatever we are. See, a long
Yeah.
time ago when I first came to America, I'm an immigrant like yourself as well. But
Hmm.
when I first came to America, people would say you gotta think outside the box. And I'm
Hmm.
like, which box? Where we come
Hmm.
from, there is no box, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
live our lives, but there's always continuous progress to get out of where we are.
Hmm.
Um, Here, I never understood that phrase of let's get out of the box. Like,
Hmm.
think outside the box. And I was like, if you're in a box, then you need to get out of it. And then for the longest time, I started thinking, and I put into perspective that we put ourselves in a box because when a baby is conceived, it's a box. When a
Hmm.
baby is born, it's a box. We put them
Yeah.
in a cradle.
Yeah.
When they are 6 months old, they will put them in a box so that they don't fall and topple over. When they start
Hmm.
walking, we put them in a box because we don't want them to get into things that we don't want them to touch. And then it goes on till the cubicles that we put ourselves into in our work lives, as well as the box that we finally get into when we die. So we live in a box. We just graduate from one box to another. What if we just decide to break the box?
Yeah, that's a very
I
good
don't know. That's
idea.
just
And yeah,
I mean,
it's,
but
it's very good.
to some degree, that's what all of us in roles as mentors and helpers and guides and however you want to characterize it.
Hmm.
But we each are playing a role with
Hmm.
other individuals to help see more is possible for themselves than they're currently living, and giving
Hmm.
them options of ways that they may be able to step forward and to grow into a much larger role.
Yes. Yeah. Like John told a story in this book also, actually in this chapter, actually, that I forgot the name of the person. He said to John that my dad learned three lessons when he moved from somewhere else, like from another country to USA. Like me and Munira, we all are immigrants, so we know that. So he said, what are those three things they learned? He said, first of all, there was no golden highways which are paved with the gold in USA. The second thing he learned, there was no paving at all. And the third thing which I learned, that I have to pave those.
Right.
So when people come here, they think that there is a gold here, there is this, and people like I have a lot of friends. I mean, I see, and one of my even cousin, he calls me all the time, and he talks like that. So I start laughing. They think that you walk into the USA or Canada, it means as soon as you are going to land here, there will be a truck comes with a filled with the dollars, and they are going to give you the boxes like no, that doesn't work. I mean, you have to work hard to accomplish in your life. But unfortunately, what we do, most of our like 95 plus percent plus people, they accept their lives as the life is, rather than they lead their life where they have to lead. And that's another problem. Then same thing like an old saying, love what you do and do what you love, then you don't feel like work.
Right.
Tell me, Jay, and Munira, and everybody who's listening us and watching us, how many people you see that they do the same thing, like they love what they do and they do what they love? Hardly. Very, very few people. And those are the true dreamers. Those are the true leaders. Those are the true influencer in this society because they love what they do rather than they are doing for someone else because somebody asked them to do something.
Well,
So,
and the other point I would put on that is society is very quick to identify when people who are stretching themselves fail in some way. I mean, every successful person has failed at many things, right? But they just keep going. They keep the
mhm,
dream. They keep wanting to find the next step forward and path forward.
mhm,
And it's so easy for others to say, like you said, if they arrive here and you're not a millionaire overnight, well, what? You didn't find the right truck they give you, right?
yeah, yeah. So
And
exactly, yeah, you're right. I agree with you. But my question is to everyone who's listening us, who's watching us, and who's going to listen later on. Oh, what are you doing now for your dream? Number one, and does it engage your heart as well as your mind? If it's not through your heart and mind are not in alignment, then it's not your dream, my friends. Your dream has to has both things aligned. You know what you want, and you have to do what you like.
well, of course,
So,
one of the things we're doing is we're
mhm,
reading the book and we're learning how we can be more
yeah,
successful at turning
yes,
dreams into, you know,
yes,
is you expose yourself to information from guides who can help you. And John
mhm,
Maxwell is such a marvelous teacher that
yes,
that will help us in this process of being able to believe in ourselves.
mhm,
We can own the dream and we can clarify the dream and we can find the right resources and
mhm,
right people and have the tenacity and end up in a place of significance where we truly have done something to enrich the world. And
yes. So then we have to decide whether, if we want to follow our dreams and what we are doing for it. Are we engaging our heart and mind together rather than just doing because we have to do? Because the problem is that's not the dream. Then you are you are just accepting the life. You are not technically leading your life the way you want. And here's the one thing which you have to understand: until and unless you don't have a potential plus your passion together, that's not going to satisfy you. You have a potential, but your passion is not there, and you have a passion, but there is no potential there. Either way, you are not going to make it happen. You have to have both together, aligned with each other. So you have to make sure you have to learn what are your area of strengths. That's how you are going to determine. You are going to tell yourself that what is my strength is, that's my potential is, and then I have to align with my passion, that strength. Then life is going to be a lot easier than I think. Dream is going to be a lot easier to get accomplished. So that's another question we have to ask. But and also you have to see if you are lacking the passion but having the talent is not a good ideal combination. You have a talent, but you are lacking the passion. It's going to waste your talent. So you have to make sure you align both of these things. And another important thing which he tells us that never compare yourself or your dreams to others. We have a lot of this shining object syndrome in our lives because Jay is a great author. Jay is a great financing expert. So I will be like, I want to be like Jay. No, you have your own inner strength. Bring it up, and maybe you can become better than anybody else.
sure.
You don't have to compare yourself. It doesn't mean that you cannot be like, you can be better than, but you are you. That's your power. Don't compare with someone. We start comparing either above or below us, or we start comparing with leaders in that industry where we want to be. Obviously, they spend 25, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. You don't know. You just see the iceberg and you want to be like that. Or sometimes you just satisfy yourself, oh, I'm better than. that guy who's lower than you. No, no. You are the only person you have to compete with. Where you were yesterday, are you there, still there? And if still you're there, means you wasted another day of your life. You're not moving. So be better than whatever you were yesterday. That's how you are going to move on. So when you compares with inferior or superior than you get definitely stuck with your dreams or anything which you think. So believe in your vision for the future, even when others don't understand you.
Right.
That's how you are going to own your dream. If you cannot believe in yourself, nobody will be believing you regardless. So you have to believe in yourself and don't worry about others, whether they understand you or not. Because everything worthwhile happened in this universe by someone nobody understood it till it was done. And people used to think he was crazy, he was this, he was that. People were criticizing him, but he showed them and he did it. And now everybody talks about them. Whether Thomas Edison or Albert Einstein or Graham Bell or Wright brothers, what they did, nobody believed that they could do that, but they did it. So So you have to grab hold of your dream, and obviously, this is another question we have to ask, and what you would like to do to accomplish your dreams, and how. So in this way, he gives an advice to all of us, the people who wants to learn out of this book. Like you said, we have to find two or three very sincere people in our life, and he gives at the end of every chapter three questions regarding to that specific chapter, and ask them and let them talk about you. Don't get upset, don't get offended, just relax and listen them. It could be, I mean, they may be your spouses or anybody who you think is more sincere and more loyal to you, only two or three people. Or you can bring people from your mastermind group or somewhere. But those people who are really sincere to you, and ask them, what do you think? Where I'm lacking my ownership of my dream? And let them talk. Because sometimes you cannot see the picture when you're in the frame.
Right. Right.
So let them take a look and tell you. And then also ask how I can, if they say 1 to 10, you are at 7, Jay. So you can say, how I can be 10? Can you advise me, please? Let them give their opinion so we can improve ourselves. Sometimes we get stuck with our own ego. Sometimes we get stuck with our own belief. Sometimes because beliefs, I mean, we have been told since we born. Now we think that's the reality, which is not. Somebody else's opinion is not the reality of my life. So we have to learn those things, and obviously those three questions we have to always ask. There are so many questions, like why do you want to accomplish your dream? If you want to own the dream, you have to have this question in your mind. Why are you the right person for this dream? You have to make sure. What is these all are questions, like 10 questions we are going to go through. But first of all, we have to own this. And if we can grab hold of our dream and we can prove that this is my dream, then there is no way you cannot accomplish whatever you want in your life. And this is the ownership question you can ask. Like I said, I would be the person in the world most pleased if I accomplished my dream. Then other is, I have publicly shared my dream with other people, including those I love. And then my dream has been challenged by others and I still embrace it. So these things you have to keep in mind, and then you learn your other questions too. So let's talk about ownership and then we'll wrap it up for today.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to run. I
Yeah,
have a call that's coming in.
yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
that's Yeah, I appreciate. Okay, Munira, you would like to add anything on ownership?
Yeah, if you have a dream, take ownership of it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the Eve concept. The thing is, when you have a dream, it's an idea that's a
Mm-hmm.
seed in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the time to start planting. So
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, dig the ground and put your seed in and start. Let it grow, water it, let it sprout, let it grow, let it become strong, because you want your dream, because you believe in it so strongly, to become something that you want to achieve in.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
so go ahead and take that first step. I know it's uncomfortable, but
Mm.
go ahead and just do it.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. And folks like who are watching us and who are listening us, uh, so that's we were talking about the first part of the dream, like do we own it? And like I gave you a brief introduction of this book, how this book is going to walk us through our dreams, and there are 10 questions we are going to discuss in next few weeks. But at the same time, I would like to make it clear because I know there was a confusion on my which advertisement I did. A lot of people from USA they also registered, but at the same time, a lot of Pakistani friends they registered. Actually, they are still registering, but sometime people they expect that I'm going to go live every week. So this is the last one I did live on Facebook. Otherwise, it will be in a closed group. You have to register it, and if you don't register, you'll be left out. So I want to make it clear, if you didn't register it, you still got 2 days. If you will register by this weekend, I will include you for the rest of those sessions which we are going to have in future. And also, if I will see there are more people registering from South Asia, Pakistan, or India, and they want to talk in Urdu or Hindi because they are not comfortable in English, I will start on for them separately on the same subject, another mastermind in Urdu, uh, like on a Saturday maybe. We can just change the time, day, and I will go for them too. So please feel free to register it. Once you register it, you will be included, and at the end of these 5 weeks, if you attend all these sessions, we will give you a certificate too. So otherwise, the rules are for everyone. If you don't register, it means you are not serious about this, and we are not serious to entertain those people either. So thank you very much. Thank you, Manira, for joining us today.
You are
And
welcome.
hope we'll see you in the next week. And inshallah, uh, anything specific you would like to share with audiences about your own like business, what you're doing, any things happening in your world?
Yeah, I offer 20 minutes free connection to people who are also wanting to figure out what their dream is, or they're not, they feel they have something in their life that they want to do and they're not sure what they want to do. I can help you put that in perspective for you. All you have to do is message me on Facebook Messenger, and I'll send you my excuse me, I'll send you my calendar link, and then we can talk about it. Usually the conversation goes longer. And I also have a book that talks about the same thing, the philosophy of niche principles. If you would like that, I am selling them personally. It's cheaper than Amazon. So if you want to know that, let me just connect with me and we can talk about these things.
Thank
let's
you.
let's not have you have any regrets that
Mhm.
I wish I would have done something. Let's make this a reality for you.
Thank you, because it was a good session because we had Monira, she's an author, and we had a Jay Lagerber, he wrote couple books, and he's a finance expert too. So you guys can connect with these people too. These are the real mentors and coaches and true leaders. You can look at them and you can get benefited by just connecting with them and asking questions to them, and they have a great things to share with you. So thank you very much, folks, and we'll see you next week. And have a blessed weekend. All right, Taka.
Bye.